Hello and welcome to the last edition of the Travel Show with John Guinn on ukhealthradio.com for 2016. This show was going to have Holiday Travel Watch on board. I did a great interview with Frank from the organisation last week. I went to edit it a couple of days ago, and when my cat walked across my mixing board, she pressed a button and it garbled the audio, which I couldn't hear on my monitor. It sounded fine, but the actual recorded interview was not usable, unfortunately. So if you were expecting that from my tweet last week, I'm sorry about that. Hopefully I'll be able to rebook with Frank and do it all again. So this week's going to be a roundup of travel news. ABTA have also released its trends for 2017, so I'll be talking about that later on in the show. But first, I saw a news story in the I newspaper yesterday, and it says that low-cost carrier Norwegian Air is going to be offering flights to the US for £60, which is quite cheap. I trust you agree, especially when you're looking at about £400 or £500. How can they do that? And maybe who are Norwegian Air? You might not have heard of them. Well, I can tell you Norwegian Air have upset a load of people in America, namely airlines and unions, because of the cheap flights they're offering from Gatwick. And they're also saying it's unfair because Norway isn't part of the EU, it's not part of the Open Skies arrangement between the EU and the USA, and Norwegian Air getting around it by having a subsidiary, I nearly said that word correctly, based at Gatwick, and they're saying it's bending the rules a little bit. But never mind. Rules are rules, and they're obviously following them correctly, otherwise they won't be able to do it at all. But if you've not heard of Norwegian Air, well, I did do an interview with the organisation early in 2016. I'm now going to repeat that now because maybe you're looking at going to America for your holiday in 2017, and as you can get there as cheap as possible, then you have more money for all the stuff that's over there. So let's get on with the interview with Norwegian Air.
Well, Norwegian are the third largest low-cost airline in Europe, and we're one of the fastest-growing airlines in the world, especially here in the UK. We now fly from 4 UK airports, from Edinburgh, Manchester, Birmingham and Gatwick to more than 40 destinations around the world.
You said you're a low-cost airline. Does that mean the basic ticket price is just going to give somebody somewhere to sit on the plane, or does it include other bits as well?
I think for Norwegian, our focus is all about giving passengers a choice. So you can book one of our low-cost seats and you can just travel to your destination. Or if you want any added extras, extra baggage, food on your flight, fast-track security access and so on, you can pay for that in addition. But it's really about giving passengers a choice. With other airlines, the ticket price they pay will include baggage, seats, food, etc., whether they want it or not. Mm-hmm. And we know from speaking to our passengers that many passengers don't want that. They just want a low-cost flight to get them to their destination as cheaply and as efficiently as they can. And that's what we offer. And then clearly if those passengers want to upgrade themselves, or they want to go into premium or have food throughout the flight, then that's available to them and they can make that choice whether to select that or not.
I've spent a lot of time at my local airport, and I know that passengers are very price sensitive, so that's pretty good. So you're Norwegian and you've got 4 bases in the UK. Do you just go between Norway and the UK?
No, far from it. I think people should ignore the name Norwegian in many ways. Mm-hmm. Of course, we do fly from the UK to Norway and parts of Scandinavia, but we have more than 30 destinations across Europe, from the major cities you'd expect, so Berlin, Rome, Madrid, and Barcelona, to a number of beach and sunshine breaks in the Canary Islands and in Greece and other parts of the Mediterranean. And then in addition, quite uniquely for an airline in the UK, we have low-cost long-haul flights to America. So from London Gatwick, our main base in the UK, we now fly to 7 destinations across the US and the Caribbean. And that's really been a game changer for UK passengers. They can now fly low-cost to America. So it's opening up the American market to a whole new group of people.
You just said ignore the name Norwegian, because my next concern was how can a Norwegian air company fly to the US from the UK? I would have thought you would have gone from Norway, but if I just ignore the name, that makes sense then.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we do have flights from our Norway base in Oslo as well, but certainly for UK passengers who want to fly direct to those destinations Europe and America. They can fly direct from the UK and at low cost. So, we're pretty unique in that respect, in that we're offering UK passengers low cost travel across Europe and to America and the Caribbean as well.
Do these low cost routes to America upset anyone?
I think you'd expect some of the existing airlines, some of the bigger airlines who've so far dominated those routes, particularly to America. Mm-hmm. You can understand they feel a little bit threatened by the competition. So we kind of expected that. I think it's no different than when you saw the likes of EasyJet and Ryanair starting low cost travel, a couple of decades ago. The other airlines got a bit upset about it, but that's to be expected. I think the most important thing is it can only be good news for passengers. More competition among airlines means they've got more choice and lower fares. So I think for UK passengers, if they want to fly to America low cost, they can fly with Norwegian. But what we're also seeing is that other airlines are starting to drop their prices to compete with us. So I think for passengers, it really means they've got more choice than they've ever had before. So I think it's good news all round.
You're listening to The Travel Show with John Guinn on UKHealthRadio.com. Talking to Stuart Buss from Norwegian. We're talking about the low-cost airlines. We're now going to be moving on to the long-haul flights. I have flown short-haul with no-cost airlines. I'm sure you will have as well. And the thought of spending 7 or 8 hours on a plane with limited facilities does worry me a little. So I wanted to know whether that was the case if I was to fly Norwegian to the USA.
I think there's definitely still a misconception about low-cost travel. Perhaps in the early days, the quality wasn't great. But I think what Norwegian are doing, both on our European and long-haul flights, is showing that low cost doesn't mean low quality. Mm-hmm. So, for example, if you fly on our European flights, you'll be on state-of-the-art new aircraft. We have one of the youngest aircraft fleets in the world. So you'll be getting onto a very good quality aircraft. On our European flights, we offer free Wi-Fi. We're the only airline in Europe to offer that. So passengers can carry on doing their work or looking at entertainment online or posting a selfie of their travels to make their friends jealous. Mm-hmm. So that's great in terms of entertainment. And we do also have video on demand for those European flights as well to keep passengers entertained. And then long haul, I think, as you say, I think certainly people are looking at low cost long haul and wondering whether it will be comfortable, and it absolutely is. I think on our long haul flights, they're all operated on brand new Dreamliner aircraft. So again, very, very new, very comfortable aircraft, mm-hmm. Which is certainly probably better than a lot of airlines offer on those American routes. And in terms of entertainment on those long-haul routes, we have a in-flight entertainment system, so they can watch on the tablet in the seat in front of them a range of movies and TV programs and games, and we also have a interactive 3D map, which has won a few awards because of the way it sort of demonstrates the journey passengers are on and some of the things they can see and do when they get to their final destination. So I think all in all, whether it's short haul or long haul, mm-hmm. We're a low cost airline, but it's a high quality service that we offer.
A meal option is available for the long haul flights. What do you provide, and do you cater for people with specific diets? Because I used to be a travel agent. I know that many people have different requirements, and I'm a vegan myself, so I'm one of those awkward customers as well. Yeah,
absolutely. No, we're there to cater for all of the passengers' needs. So if you book a meal as part of your ticket, you'll get a 3-course meal on that long haul flight, and that can cater for any sort of dietary needs, whether it's a kids menu or vegetarian, gluten-free, kosher. There's a whole range of different menu types that can cater for all sorts of needs. And for those passengers that don't want a full meal, but they just want to order a snack or a drink now and then on the flight, there's quite a unique way that we're able to do that. So in the screen in the seats in front of them, there's a food and snack menu, and you can just tap on there and select what you want, swipe your credit card, and then it gets brought straight to your seat. So that's quite a flexible way. I mean, you're not tied to regular trolley services and waiting for the trolley to come past your seat. You can just select what you want to eat or drink at any stage of that flight, and it gets brought straight to your seat. So again, it's just a way of being flexible and making sure that passengers have the choice to order the food and drink they want.
I do like that idea. Many times I've been on a flight trying to get somebody's attention, trying to get something, but if I can just sit there and do it, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think it's really helpful. I mean, I think it means if you're in the middle of the plane, we've all been there where you're waiting for the trolley to come past, and by the time it gets to you in the middle of the plane, there's nothing left. But no, this way, I mean, it means that you can order food and drink at any time of the flight, and it gets delivered to you straight away rather than having to wait for other passengers to be served first.
I do hate waiting. So we can fly with you from Gatwick to the USA. You do connecting flights as well. So where do you fly to, and where do you fly out of, and where do they go to? If that makes sense.
So we fly to 6 US cities from Gatwick, both on the East Coast and the West Coast of America, and down in Florida as well. We do have a direct route from Gatwick to Puerto Rico in the Caribbean, but at the end of last year we also launched shorter domestic routes in the US. So from New York and from Boston, we offer direct routes down to Guadeloupe and Martinique in the Caribbean. And they're very low cost, around $60, $70 for those routes. So it's entirely possible now for UK passengers to combine one of our low cost flights to New York or to Boston, perhaps spend a few days in the city, and then tag on a low cost trip to the Caribbean as well. So it's a great chance to combine a city break and some sunshine and beach as well. So that's something that we're looking to continue throughout the summer.
Yeah, I've looked at doing those sort of trips in the past, and it can get complicated, but that sounds really easy. So that's definitely
I think we offer all of our flights to the US. The prices we offer are one way. Clearly, I mean, return tickets are available, but by offering those one-way tickets, it does give passengers a bit more flexibility. So, for example, you could fly one way into New York, perhaps spend a few days there, go on to somewhere like Boston, and spend a few days in that city, and then fly back with us one way from Boston. Equally on the West Coast, we offer both San Francisco and Los Angeles now, so that it gives passengers a chance to combine both those cities and not have to pay extra for those different flights from different airports.
So what's the best way to keep in the loop when you have your special price promotions?
I think all of our routes are available on our website, Norwegian.com. There's also an area in there where passengers can sign up, and they'll get our regular newsletter and the special offers that we put on throughout the year. As always, follow us on social media, on Twitter and on Facebook, and we often post news and special offers on there as well. And then, along with our flights being directly listed on our website, we're included on all major travel websites as well. So there's a whole range of options for passengers to see what we offer, and to keep in touch on the offers that we've got out there.
So you're not direct only booking; you can go for a travel company or an agent, and they can package